The Tonight Show after a devastating article claimed that host Jimmy Fallon has created a toxic workplace.
Jimmy Fallon is the person about whom we are all familiar and adore. Fallon has spent decades making us laugh, sing along, and sometimes even tear up. His goofy impressions on Saturday Night Live and his endearing stints on The Tonight Show are just two examples of how he has accomplished this accomplishment. He is the late-night host who can get A-list celebrities to play silly games, the comedian who always seems to have a smile on his face, and the entertainer who is always down for a laugh at his own expense. He is all of these things, and more. However, the recent events that have transpired with Jimmy Fallon are unlike anything that we have ever witnessed before, and they are sending shockwaves throughout Hollywood and beyond. Over the course of his career, which has been filled with unforgettable moments, Fallon has always managed to remain on the bright side of fame. Fallon has managed to maintain his reputation as the fun-loving, light-hearted host who steers clear of the messy political debates that frequently control the late-night talk show genre. This is in contrast to other late-night hosts who have actively sought out controversy. On the other hand, the internet is currently on fire. Tabloids are scurrying around for exclusives, and fans are left wondering how something like this could have occurred. The unexpected turn of events that has everyone talking about Jimmy Fallon is something that you won't believe. No, this is not just another goofy skit that went wrong or a celebrity prank that went viral. Rather, it is something that is much more serious. His name is currently trending, but for all the wrong reasons, and people from all over the world are providing their responses to this trending topic. This is a story that you won't want to miss, regardless of whether you've been a fan for your entire life or just a casual viewer. Exactly what was it that Fallon did then? How did the person who is considered to be the king of late-night comedy find himself in the middle of such a storm? And perhaps more importantly, what does this imply for his future, as well as for the future of late-night television as we know it? We will be breaking down every shocking detail and investigating the ripple effects of this bombshell revelation, so make sure you stay tuned for that. An unquestionable fact is that it is possible that The Tonight Show will never be the same again. Fallon, on the other hand, if you want to know whether this well-loved comedian is able to weather the storm, or whether his career is about to take a dramatic nosedive, you will have to decide whether or not to stay around. In preparation for what you are about to hear, you should get ready because it is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Controversy, emotion, and the kind of shocking revelation that leaves audiences speechless are all elements that are present in this story. Some of these elements include unexpected twists and unexpected drama behind the scenes. Put on your seatbelts, because this is going to be a ride that you won't forget anytime soon. In the realm of late-night television, Jimmy Fallon's journey to becoming one of the most recognizable faces in the industry is nothing short of remarkable. Hard work, unrelenting energy, and an uncanny ability to make people laugh have all contributed to his success in the entertainment industry. Fallon has successfully established himself as a well-liked figure in the entertainment industry, beginning with his early days as a stand-up comedian and continuing through his tenure as the host of The Tonight Show. How did he manage to arrive here? Let's take a look at some of the most significant moments that have occurred throughout Fallon's illustrious career to date. The year 1998 marked the beginning of Fallon's career when he became a member of the cast of Saturday Night Live, SNL, a decision that would forever alter the course of his life. Even though he was only 23 years old at the time, Fallon quickly established himself as a remarkable performer, renowned for his flawless impressions and contagious energy. Fallon was able to steal the show, whether he was imitating musical legends such as Barry Gibb and Justin Timberlake, or creating hilarious original characters. He had a knack for stealing the spotlight. The fact that he had chemistry with other cast members, such as Tina Fey and Will Ferrell, contributed to his overall appeal and helped him become one of the most well-liked cast members on the show during his 6-season run. Fallon's portrayal of Barry Gibb in The Barry Gibb Talk Show, a recurring sketch that showcased Fallon's comedic timing and musical talents, is considered to be one of the most iconic moments that Fallon has ever performed on Saturday Night Live. Fallon's reputation as a versatile performer who could effortlessly combine humor and music was cemented by the appearance of the skit, which became an instant favorite among fans. Following his departure from Saturday Night Live in 2004, Fallon relocated to the big screen, making appearances in films such as Fever Pitch and Taxi. It was obvious that Fallon's true calling was in television, despite the fact that his career in movies was not without its share of successes. The year 2009 marked his return to his comedic roots, as he assumed the role of host of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. The beginning of this new phase in his career, which would eventually make him a well-known figure, was marked by the beginning of this new chapter. While Fallon was hosting Late Night, he quickly distinguished himself from other late-night hosts by bringing a new and playful energy to the show. His one-of-a-kind approach consisted of incorporating interactive games, celebrity sketches, and viral segments such as Lip Sync Battle and Wheel of Musical Impressions. These segments not only became extremely popular, but they also assisted Fallon in establishing himself as a host who was able to blend comedy and lighthearted entertainment in a seamless manner. Late Night was a must-watch television program because of the hilarious and frequently unpredictable moments that occurred on the show. Celebrities enjoyed appearing on his show, and fans couldn't get enough of the show. As a result of Fallon's appointment as the new host of The Tonight Show in 2014, he was able to achieve what many people consider to be the highest level of success in the late-night entertainment industry. Fallon became the face of one of the most iconic programs in the history of television as a result of this move, which was a significant milestone. Will Smith and U2 were among the celebrities who appeared on his first episode of The Tonight Show, which was a landmark moment in the show's history because it marked the beginning of an era that would be filled with famous people. Under Fallon's direction, The Tonight Show rose to prominence as a cultural phenomenon in a short amount of time. The show was revitalized and became a ratings powerhouse as a result of his ability to connect with a younger audience through viral content, engagement on social media, and innovative segments such as Classroom Instruments and Thank You Notes. Because of his charisma, wit, and boundless enthusiasm, Fallon was able to win over viewers of all ages, which cemented his position as one of the most influential figures in the sector of late-night television. Fallon has been the host of a number of high-profile events over the course of his career. These events include the Golden Globe Awards, the MTV Video Music Awards, and even special episodes of The Tonight Show that were filmed on location. Through his adaptability and willingness to test the limits of what is possible, he has managed to keep his content current and interesting, thereby ensuring his continued relevance in the ever-evolving entertainment landscape. From hosting musical legends and political figures to creating viral sensations that dominate the internet, Fallon's career has been filled with moments that will live long in the memory. Not only is he a talented comedian and host, but he is also a cultural icon. However, as we will see in a moment, even great figures are not exempt from controversy. What takes place when the laughter stops and the spotlight shifts to the scrutiny of the situation? Continue to pay attention, because Fallon's journey is about to take a turn that you did not anticipate. Jimmy Fallon, who was once considered the undisputed king of late-night comedy, has found himself in the middle of a firestorm that no one anticipated would occur. For many years, Jimmy Fallon was the epitome of lighthearted entertainment. He was a host who avoided controversy and preferred to concentrate on having fun. Now, however, his name is being dragged through the headlines for a variety of reasons that are not appropriate. To be more specific, what took place? The allegations that there was a toxic work environment behind the scenes of The Tonight Show were the spark that ignited everything that happened. According to reports, a number of current and former employees have come forward to accuse Fallon of cultivating a culture in the workplace that was anything but the lighthearted and carefree vibe that he portrays on screen. They painted a very different picture of the beloved host, one that fans and the general public struggled to reconcile with his jovial on-screen persona. These shocking revelations painted a very different picture of the host. It has been reported by those with knowledge of the situation that the atmosphere at The Tonight Show was fraught with tension, unpredictable behavior, and instances of intense pressure. It was reported by sources that Fallon's disposition could undergo a significant change, which would cause the staff to be on edge. According to the account of a former worker, the environment was emotionally draining, and it was reported that some members of the team broke down in tears due to the stresses they were experiencing. Nevertheless, what are the most shocking allegations? It was clear that they were pointing at Fallon himself. The behavior of Fallon was alleged to have contributed to the toxic culture by a few members of the staff. These members claimed that Fallon made dismissive remarks and that there were times when he appeared to be unapproachable. The fact that Fallon's behavior during a few late-night tapings was described as erratic by one account added fuel to the fire of speculation regarding his behavior when he was not in front of the camera. Fans are still in a state of disbelief. How is it possible that the same man who brought so much happiness and laughter to millions of people could be subjected to such accusations? Suddenly, Fallon found himself at the center of a media storm that threatened to overshadow his decades-long career. Fallon is known for his playful antics and infectious laugh, and for his ability to make people laugh. The news quickly spread across social media, with hashtags such as #FallonFallout and #The Tonight Show became popular within a few hours of its initial dissemination. As the controversy continued to develop, additional voices made their voices heard, with some defending Fallon and others criticizing him. A few of the celebrities who had previously appeared on the show shared their personal experiences, and others offered their opinions. Despite the fact that many people lauded Fallon's professionalism during their appearances, others made hints about instances in which the atmosphere off-screen appeared to be one of tension. However, the allegations of a toxic work environment were not the only thing that got people talking about the situation. At roughly the same time, video footage of an awkward and unscripted moment that occurred during a live taping started making its way around the internet. Even more speculation about what might be going on behind the scenes was sparked by the video clip, which showed Fallon appearing visibly flustered and struggling to maintain his usual composure. In a short amount of time, the video went viral, accumulating millions of views and infusing the public with an even greater sense of curiosity regarding the incident. As the chaos continued, Fallon's devoted fan base discovered that they were split along ideological lines. A few individuals supported him and insisted that the allegations were either exaggerated or taken out of context altogether. Those who were disappointed, on the other hand, felt that they had been betrayed by someone whom they had admired for many years. The court of public opinion was in full swing, and every action that Fallon took was being scrutinized by members of the public. To add insult to injury, Fallon's silence in the immediate aftermath of the event only served to fuel speculation at that time. As a result of the fact that neither Fallon nor NBC issued an official statement for several days, both fans and critics were left to speculate about what was actually taking place. Could Fallon be making preparations for a sincere apology? Or did he secretly harbor the hope that the controversy would eventually abate? Last but not least, when Fallon finally addressed the allegations, his response was a combination of defense and regret. He apologized to the public for any discomfort that may have been caused and pledged to improve his behavior in the future. Fallon expressed his deepest apologies, saying, "I am deeply sorry if I have ever made anyone feel uncomfortable or unappreciated. This was never my intention, and I take the allegations that have been made against me very seriously. It is my hope that The Tonight Show will become a place where everyone is treated with respect and feels valued." Fallon's response, on the other hand, did not come across as satisfactory to all. It was argued by critics that his statement was ambiguous and did not provide any concrete action steps to address the issues that were brought up. While this was going on, his supporters lauded him for accepting responsibility and expressed their hope that he would follow through on his promise to enhance the culture of the workplace. There were shockwaves that spread throughout the entertainment industry as a result of the incident, and many people questioned whether Fallon would be able to recover from such a significant blow to his reputation. Despite the fact that late-night television has always been a high-pressure environment, this controversy brought to light the more negative aspects of the world that appears to be highly glamorous. Fallon, who was once regarded as a shining example of optimism, was now confronted with the formidable challenge of regaining the trust of his audience, his staff, and the general public. As the atmosphere began to calm down, it became abundantly clear that Fallon's professional life would never be the same again. The narrative that had been surrounding The Tonight Show and its host had been definitively altered as a result of the incident. Whether this would be the beginning of a redemption arc or a decline in his career was something that remained to be seen. The entire world is currently observing and waiting. Is it possible that Fallon will be able to rise above the controversy and return with a stronger performance? Or will this be the moment that reshapes his legacy? This is a chapter in Jimmy Fallon's story that no one will soon forget. and that is something that can be said with absolute certainty. The fallout from the controversy involving Jimmy Fallon was not only immediate, but also severe, causing ripples to be felt throughout the entertainment industry and beyond. When the allegations of a toxic workplace culture were made against a comedian and host who had been regarded for a long time as a secure and humorous presence in late-night television, the accusations hit particularly hard. Fallon's personal reputation was not the only thing that was affected by the fallout. The Tonight Show was also subjected to intense scrutiny, which raised questions about the atmosphere that exists behind the scenes at one of the most iconic television programs in recent American history. As soon as the allegations were made public, the response from the general public was explosive. A variety of emotions, including outrage, disbelief, and heated debate, were expressed across various social media platforms. Fans who had grown up watching Jimmy Fallon's goofy sketches and celebrity games were now struggling to come to terms with a very different image of their favorite host. For several days, the hashtags #FallonExposed and #ToxicTonightShow was trending on social media, and thousands of posts were published that dissected every aspect of the scandal that was developing. Some of Fallon's supporters were quick to defend him, arguing that every workplace has its difficulties and that the allegations may be exaggerated to an excessive degree. Some people were less forgiving, and they demanded accountability and more transparency from NBC, which is the network that is responsible for The Tonight Show. During this period in his career, Fallon was confronted with widespread criticism from both the general public and the media for the very first time. His image, which had been spotless up until this point, was being severely damaged. Fans and social media were not the only ones who voiced their disapproval. There were a number of prominent organizations and sponsors that were associated with The Tonight Show that started to reevaluate their partnerships. There have been reports that advertisers, who are concerned about being associated with controversy, have held meetings to discuss their future with the program. Although there was no immediate withdrawal of major sponsors, the conversations alone were sufficient to indicate that there would be problems. Due to the fact that reputation is of the utmost importance in this sector, even the slightest hint of scandal can have significant financial repercussions. NBC was experiencing a high level of tension behind the scenes. Having already been put under pressure by previous workplace scandals, the network was now frantically trying to contain the damage that had been caused. According to reports, executives convened in an emergency meeting to discuss the allegations and determine the most appropriate course of action. Within the company, the primary focus was on addressing the claims, providing assistance to the staff members who were affected, and determining how to safeguard one of their most valuable assets, which was The Tonight Show. As the amount of criticism continues to increase, NBC has announced that they intend to carry out an internal investigation into the culture of the show's workplace. The company made a commitment to implementing changes that would result in a more encouraging and respectful atmosphere for their staff members. Some people thought that this action was a step in the right direction, while others thought that it was too little, too late after some time had passed. It was argued by critics that the network ought to have taken a more proactive approach to preventing these problems, rather than reacting after they had already occurred. The personal toll that Fallon had to bear was significant. However, he found himself in uncharted territory, navigating a crisis that threatened to overshadow his decades-long career. He was known for his upbeat and affable personality, but now he found himself in unexpected territory. Despite the fact that Fallon's public apology and promise to develop were a step in the right direction, they were not sufficient to calm the storm. As a result, some of his most devoted fans experienced feelings of betrayal and began to wonder if the Fallon they had admired was actually a facade. As a result of the controversy, broader conversations about the challenges and difficulties that are inherent to the entertainment industry were stimulated. The scandal involving Fallon was just one of a growing number of high-profile scandals that brought to light the toxic dynamics that are frequently concealed behind the glamour of the entertainment industry. Once again, the shadowy side of the entertainment industry was brought into the open, revealing everything from the demanding production schedules to the intense scrutiny of public life. There was a noticeable departure from the usual camaraderie that existed between Fallon's colleagues in the late-night world, as they largely remained silent in the midst of the chaos. Despite the fact that some insiders speculated that they did not want to add fuel to the fire, others believed that Fallon's scandal had made them wary of drawing attention to their own shows. Fallon was further isolated during one of the most difficult periods of his career as a result of the deafening silence that prevailed. Fallon did have a number of supporters, despite the significant amount of criticism that he received. A number of his former co-workers and friends of celebrities have come forward to vouch for his character, describing him as someone who is kind, diligent, and enthusiastic about his craft. The testimonials that they provided offered a glimmer of hope that Fallon might be able to weather the storm and rebuild his reputation. On the other hand, the path to redemption would not be an easy one by any means. It was impossible to deny the damage that was done to Fallon's brand, and it was unclear what the result would be for The Tonight Show in the long run. Would viewers continue to tune in during the controversy, or would there be a decrease in viewership as a result of the controversy? Would it be possible for Fallon to win back the confidence of his audience, or would this incident ensure that his legacy would be permanently marred? There is no way to know how Jimmy Fallon and The Tonight Show will bounce back from this scandal. Only time will truly tell. Late-night television and the culture that surrounds it have been irrevocably altered as a result of the fallout, which is one thing that is abundantly clear. The once-loved host is currently facing an uphill battle to reclaim his place in the hearts of viewers, and the entire world is watching his every move. As soon as the allegations of a toxic workplace environment at The Tonight Show became public, the entire world waited with bated breath to hear from Jimmy Fallon himself. Despite the fact that Fallon is known for his positive and easygoing demeanor, he had never been the subject of such a significant controversy. There was a lot of pressure on him to confront the allegations head-on, and when he finally broke his silence, his response was not only emotional, but also revealing. Fallon acknowledged the allegations and expressed profound regret in a public statement that was delivered with a lot of heart. Fallon started off by saying, "It has never been my intention to create an environment in which anyone feels that they are either less valued or respected. I am truly sorry to anyone who feels hurt or disrespected," he said in a solemn tone, which was a striking contrast to the lighthearted and carefree manner in which Fallon audiences were accustomed to hearing him speak. Following his admission that the allegations served as a wake-up call, he committed to taking immediate action in order to improve the culture of the workplace. In addition to issuing a public apology, Fallon went on to do more. It has also been reported that he held a private meeting with the staff of his Tonight Show, during which he discussed the situation in an open and honest manner. According to those who are familiar with the situation, Fallon displayed a clear display of emotion during the meeting. He acknowledged his part in the dynamics of the workplace and expressed his determination to put things right. He told his team, "I want this to be a happy and safe place for everyone," and they agreed with him. "That has always been my objective, and I am sorry if I have not been able to achieve it." During this meeting, Fallon reassured his staff that they would be able to feel comfortable voicing their concerns and encouraged them to come forward with their concerns. The fact that he was eager to listen and open to receiving feedback was emphasized by him. In order to emphasize the significance of his team, he stated, "This show would not be successful without each and every one of you." Additionally, he committed to playing a more active role in the future in the process of cultivating an environment that is positive and supportive. The reaction to Fallon's statement was not unanimous, despite the fact that he apologized for it. Some people lauded him for taking responsibility for his actions and demonstrating genuine regret. Fans who had long admired Fallon for his kindness and humility were relieved to see him confront the issue directly that he had been avoiding for so long. In a tweet, one of the fans said, "Everyone makes mistakes. What is important is how you react, and I believe that Jimmy is handling this situation in the appropriate manner." Fallon's response, on the other hand, was criticized by those who were more skeptical, stating that it was too little, too late. One critic made the observation that apologies are nice, but actions speak louder than words and vice versa. There are those who believe that Fallon's words were not sufficient to undo the damage that was caused by the allegations. Let's see if he actually follows through. They wanted to see Fallon and NBC take a more open and honest approach, as well as make some concrete suggestions for improvement. For the purpose of demonstrating his dedication to change, Fallon announced a number of initiatives that are aimed at enhancing the culture of the workplace. These included the implementation of a mandatory sensitivity training program for all employees, the employment of an independent consultant to conduct an investigation into the working conditions at The Tonight Show, and the establishment of a system that allows employees to anonymously report any concerns they may have. In addition to this, Fallon committed to holding regular meetings with his team in order to guarantee continuous communication and accountability. During interviews that followed his public apology, Fallon revealed the extent to which the allegations had impacted him individually and professionally. He said, "I've always tried to create an environment that is both fun and welcoming to everyone." Hearing that other people had a different opinion was extremely upsetting. He expressed his gratitude for the constructive criticism and reaffirmed his commitment to continuing to improve his performance. However, he also acknowledged that this is an opportunity to learn and grow. The personal response that Fallon provided was an important first step in addressing the controversy. However, he was aware that the road to redemption would be a long one nonetheless. In his admission, he stated, "This is not something that can be fixed instantaneously. It will require a significant amount of time, effort, and listening on your part. However, I am dedicated to putting this matter to rest." Despite Fallon's efforts to gain back the trust of his staff, fans, and the general public, the question that remains is whether or not his actions will be more convincing than his words. Fallon's ability to transform this moment of crisis into an opportunity for growth and redemption is something that can only be determined by the passage of time. While this is going on, the entire world is keeping a close eye on the affable host, waiting to see if he is able to rise above the controversy and regain his position as one of the most beloved figures in late-night television. Not only did Jimmy Fallon's controversy bring The Tonight Show back into the public eye, but it also rekindled a wider discussion about the culture of late-night television. Late-night talk shows have been a mainstay of the American entertainment industry for many years, providing a variety of content, including comedic segments, interviews with famous people, and cultural commentary. However, behind the scenes, these productions have been criticized for a long time for their demanding schedules, high-pressure environments, and sometimes toxic workplace dynamics. This situation involving Fallon is just the most recent in a series of incidents that have brought to light the more negative aspects of late-night television. Late-night environments are notoriously cutthroat in terms of competition. Hosts are under constant pressure to deliver high ratings, create content that goes viral, and maintain their relevance in a media environment that is constantly shifting. It is not uncommon for this unrelenting demand to trickle down to their staff, who work tirelessly to produce new and interesting content night after night. What is the end result? An atmosphere in the workplace that is characterized by high levels of stress and a tendency to blur the line between strict management and toxic behavior on occasion. The controversy surrounding Jimmy Fallon has exposed troubling dynamics within the seemingly glamorous world of late-night television. Fallon joins a list of hosts, including Ellen DeGeneres and James Corden, who have been accused of fostering toxic work environments. These incidents highlight the intense demands and pressures behind the laughter, prompting broader questions about the entertainment industry's role in ensuring healthy workplaces. Critics argue that networks and production companies must take greater responsibility for preventing harmful cultures. The scrutiny on The Tonight Show has raised questions about whether NBC could have acted sooner to address these issues. However, accountability goes beyond individual hosts. Systemic change requires collective action from producers to executives. Fallon's case also underscores the growing power of public opinion, amplified by social media, in shaping the entertainment landscape. The swift backlash demonstrates how quickly sentiment can shift and the lasting impact on a show's reputation. As late-night TV evolves, so must its workplace culture. This controversy serves as a wake-up call for the entire industry to confront its flaws and build more inclusive, supportive environments. For Fallon, the path to redemption hinges on his ability to rebuild trust with his staff, fans, and the public. Whether this becomes a turning point or leaves a lasting blemish on his legacy remains to be seen. There is one thing that can be said with absolute certainty. The valuable insights gained from this controversy have the potential to not only reshape The Tonight Show, but also the future of late-night television in general. Although Fallon is working hard to make amends, The entire world will be keeping a close eye on him, waiting to see if he is able to rise above the fallout and reclaim his position as one of the most cherished hosts in late-night television.